Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the next review I want to do today is the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive Aries Wave Crossbones figure. This guy is becoming more and more popular and harder to find, so I figured I'd put a review out there so that if you are thinking about getting one, you'll know whether or not you really actually want to spend that kind of money in the eBay game. Probably not, but if you have the disposable income, it's actually a pretty decent figure. He's pretty nice looking, I think. He's got no real shading in the skin. None of the muscles are shaded, so that's kind of a downfall. However, his utility vest, whatever you want to call that, it's not really a flak jacket, but it's got lots of nice shading, and all of the zippers and buckles are painted, so it's pretty good detail. The face is sculpted really well, but there's no shading on the white parts. Just the black and the white. There's no shading at all on that. Sculpt is decent, like I said, but no shading. So if paint's your thing, this might not be the figure for you. The only real shading on the paint is on the black parts of the vest and the gloves. There's a little bit on the boots, there's a little bit of gray on there, but there's no shading on the pants either. He stands at nearly 7.5 inches tall, so he's a pretty good sized figure. It's the same base figure as Hulkling and what's the other one? There's another one. Oh, Warpath. Same as Warpath and Hulkling. They use the same arms as Savage Dragon from the shoulder down. The hands are always different, but the upper arms are molded in the plastic, so you don't have to worry about anything matching. They all match fine, but the lower arms are painted. They're molded black and painted skin tones. Same thing as Warpath. So the forearm doesn't really match with the rest of the forearm. It's not that bad. On this guy, it matches close enough, but it's not perfect, unfortunately. So, that's kind of a thing to mention also. He does come with 2 weapons. I'll cover those. His big-ass pistol, excuse my language, and his rifle. It's got the little Hydra logo on it. Does this one have it? It does, but it's just barely... Can't really make it out, but it's on the grip of the pistol. There's no paint on these at all. It's just molded plastic, so they're good enough. And he does have the hands that are molded for the pistols and or for the guns, so he holds them well enough. But they're just kind of bland. I'll go over articulation before I talk about anything else. His head, standard Marvel Legends. He's got the disc in there, and the head's obviously able to move on top of the disc, so that's nice. Nice shoulder movement, ball joint. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, 90-degree bend, good enough. Forearm rotation where it splits, even though the paint doesn't match. It's nice to have that articulation. And that's it for the arms. There's no hand articulation at all. As far as an ab crunch, he does... I'll show you that. He does have an ab crunch in there. It doesn't have a whole lot of motion when you have the vest on, because obviously the vest gets in the way, but it does move a little bit. He has a waist twist. Ball jointed hips, as you would expect. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee. No rotation in the shin. Regular foot and ankle in the toe, ankle. No rocker. No ankle rocker at all. So he's not the most articulated, but I think he has enough. As you kind of saw, the vest does come off, and then underneath you have the Hulkling torso with the little padded quilted thing up there. He actually looks fine with it off. It's a little narrow. His chest is a little narrow for these big shoulders, but actually when you take the vest off, it makes the legs kind of more in a better proportion with the vest on, in my opinion. And I think I kind of feel the same way on the Warpath body. The legs just don't seem to match the body. They're kind of skinny looking. I don't know, maybe that's just me. They're not terrible, but they're just off by a little bit. So, I don't know. Anyway, I think he's worth buying. It depends if you have the money to spend on him or not. And if you can get a really good deal, obviously that helps. He does hold his guns well. He's painted well enough. Doesn't have a huge amount of paint, but there is some on there. So you can't really fault him for that. Comes with 2 guns. Good size figure. So you're definitely getting your money's worth if you bought him at retail. It depends how much you get him for in the aftermarket, I guess. That's up to you. I do like the figure and I do recommend getting it. It's all about the price though. That's completely up to you. It would have been nice if the knife came out, but it does not, unfortunately. So your call. It's getting harder and harder to find, especially with the new movies coming out. People are trying to find more guys that are connected to those characters. So being a Hydra guy, he's definitely going to be harder and harder to find. Prices are going to get higher. So if you do want him, now would be the time to get him. Don't wait any longer unless you absolutely have to, because it's just going to get more expensive. So there you have it. There's my review for Marvel Legends Crossbones, Walmart exclusive Aries Wave. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for more reviews and more custom figures. And in the meantime, keep collecting.